Yeah. Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. For those who don't know, my name is Levi, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I gained 14 pounds of lean muscle mass naturally. Now, I know a lot of you guys are anticipating the Tinder video where I'm going to be reading my messages, but there's gonna be a hold up on that for right now. I didn't anticipate how long that video actually might take to like fully develop. But like I said, I'm gonna be talking about how I gained 14 pounds of lean muscle mass naturally. And how we're gonna be doing this is basically I'm gonna be going out through the day, sharing you guys tips, things I just basically did to gain that 14 pounds of muscle mass. But right now it's about 7:45, which means I gotta head to the gym, so let's go. Yo guys, so I just got back from the gym. I can't film anymore at Crunch, which freaking sucks, and I'm trying to zoom in this thing. And the reason we can't is because you can't have a gym bag anymore at the gym, which makes absolutely no sense. Like, I feel like there could be like a lot of liability issues with that, and that's why I don't agree with it. It's not because of anything to do with like the coronavirus. I just think there could be a lot of liability issues. Someone has like a health issue and they're like, yo, like I need something in my bag, you know, and I'm like kind of having like a health issue in the gym right now. I feel like that could be like a big problem. But we're like, obviously the content of like this video doesn't have to be about my workout, but it's just something fun that I like to do. You guys can like follow along with the workout. That's why I like filming the workouts. But if you guys want to follow the workout, up on the screen somewhere, it's just a back and shoulder workout. It's pretty sick, pretty gnarly. But the first thing I want to talk to you guys that I did to put on lean muscle is obviously going to the gym, but not as broad as that. It is switching up whatever routine I'm on. And what I mean by that is whenever you guys first start getting into the gym, right, you're gonna find a routine that you like, you're gonna run with it, you're gonna start working out, and you're gonna follow that routine for a while. Eventually you're gonna hit a wall, you're gonna obviously put on muscle from it, but you're gonna hit a wall, but you might keep doing that and be like, yo, why aren't I progressing? And it's because you guys gotta switch up your routine every once in a while. I can't talk. I strongly suggest you guys switch it up from like anywhere from like 5 to 6 weeks. You switch up like this, not the split, but just like the workouts, because let's say I'm doing a back workout, right, and it's surrounded by building more so my lats, right? Eventually I'll hit a wall in that area, right, and I won't like progress anywhere from that, right? And I'm like, okay, like what the hell is going on, right? It's because I might not be working like my middle back area, and that's like doesn't have as much muscle mass, right? So if you keep looking at the scale and you're like, I'm not gaining any more weight, right, and I'm still like pretty lean, well, try working other like muscles of that body part. I don't know if that makes sense, but your back isn't just one big muscle. It's, you know, composed of many muscles. And I know I talk to you guys like bro science all the time, and it just makes me sound so stupid because like I'm literally almost a doctor, but I still talk to you guys like, yeah dude, this is like how you do it, man. Like, yeah, just push it to it and do it. So excuse my unprofessionalism for that. But yeah, that is like the main thing. I don't think that there's much more that I can explain to you guys. Just make sure, you know, you're focusing on other muscle groups in one muscle, if that makes sense. So, you know, the bicep is made up of 2. So, you know, make sure that you're just basically building up every single muscle group at once. And I think it'll help you guys a lot more. It's definitely something that helped me a lot more because obviously I hit a wall at one point, and then as soon as I started changing things up, my weight started to increase. All right guys, so the next thing I'm gonna be talking to you guys about is food, and no better place to explain or talk about food than the kitchen. Also, check out that lighting, dude. It's kind of like some nice natural lighting. Just like looks so nice. Yeah, enough of that, but I just want to talk to you guys about some things that I learned with food. 3 things specifically that I think will help you guys that helped me a lot when building lean muscle mass. So the first thing I'm gonna suggest, guys, go do your research on food, build a relationship with food. And what I mean by that is kind of learn what macros are, right? Because at first I had no idea what macros were. I was just eating like whatever the hell I wanted in the beginning before I decided, you know, I want to put on lean muscle and I don't want to just eat whatever. Learn about good carbohydrates, aka like complex, simple. Learn about good fats, polysaturated, unsaturated, saturated. Go do some research, guys. Like some of the best fitness influencers had to go and like learn the stuff themselves. Like I can't give you guys all the suggestions today and then like after you like hear them, you're gonna go and put on 14 pounds of muscle within like the next 3 days. It's not gonna work like that. So you guys have to do a little bit of the work. Go do some research on food, build a relationship with food, and eventually you can kind of like learn so much about macros that you can actually kind of start having more fun with it. And you guys can do things like this. This is really cool. Hold on, check this out. You guys can start finding cool things like this, right? This is fat-free chocolate milk with only 3 grams of added sugar. Okay, that's pretty dope. And the reason I say that, like, eventually once you learn about macros, you can start doing this stuff is because, like, beforehand you might think like, oh dude, chocolate milk is so bad for you, I'm not even gonna go near that stuff. But then you don't even look at the macros, and then you finally find out that the macros are actually decent for you. I mean, like 11 grams of protein, that's insane. So yeah, that's the first thing. Relationship with food. And the next thing, which I think really helped me, is eat around the clock. Eat every 2 to 3 hours. The more that your body is performing protein synthesis, the more often it's going to obviously build muscle, because it's performing that more often. Because if you only eat, let's say 2 to 3 times throughout the day, you're still obviously going to perform protein synthesis, but your body isn't subjected to performing it as many times, leading up to not as much protein, muscle building, whatever. I'm talking like a robot because I'm kind of stuck on what I'm saying, but I hope you guys get the point. Make sure you have protein with like every meal, some carbs. Some meals you don't need as much fat. You guys can go like watch other videos and what to eat like after post-workout, pre-workout. Post-workout I usually don't have anything with fat, so I usually don't have fat with that meal. But if you want to have a well-rounded meal with every single meal that you have 2 to 3 hours. Also, your meals should be structured. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen my meal plan already, when putting on like lean muscle mass, you obviously want to have lower carbs. You know, your fats a little low as well too, and I just burped, I have protein. All right, now the last thing I'm gonna share with you guys is experiment. I feel like no other fitness influencers talk about this. Guys, go experiment. And the best way I think that you guys can experiment is starting off with 2,500 calories. See how your body reacts to something like that first. I think it's a good area, because I think when people go, oh, I want to put on lean muscle mass, and like they hear that they have to be in a deficit, which is true for most. Some people can get away with even eating in a surplus and staying lean. It just depends on your body type. That's what I'm saying. Experiment. So start off with 2,500 calories, just so you don't starve yourself and end up not building muscle at all, and you become like some endomorph extremist, and then you just get skinny, and then you get mad, and then you start binge eating, and then fall into the trap that I did. So experiment. See how everybody reacts to 2,500. If you get puffy, that means you need to bring it down, and you can start going from there. If it gets too lean, you think, then you need to increase it. It just depends on your body type. So basically, you know, building a relationship with your own body. Now that's something I had to do, right? All the other fitness influencers had to do that too. They didn't just go, okay, I'm getting ready for a show. I know I need to eat 2,200 calories to be spit perfect. I don't even know what I just said for a show. No, like it takes time. That's why like your first show isn't going to be your best show. Like you're always figuring out where your base is. So guys, start out with a good amount of calories and just go from there. Now I know this doesn't really have to do with anything food related. Well, kind of is, not really. But guys, always drink your water, right? I've been drinking a gallon a day. Do that, just get in the habit of doing it, even though like it doesn't really have anything to do with like the topic of this video. Well, it kind of does, just because like it's, I don't even know, water, is water considered like a food? Like I feel like it is, because it's like something you drink, and like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that. Also guys, pick yourself up some supplements. Forgot to mention that. If you're just getting into this, protein powder to start off with, then you can get into creatine and pre-workout as you progress. Now, we got something very unfortunate about getting lean and building muscle at the same time. Well, I take that back, because there's nothing unfortunate or bad about being lean, because it's actually pretty sick. But if you want to build muscle and stay lean at the same time, you do have to include some form of cardio. Now you might be asking yourself, what is the best kind of cardio, you know, to build muscle while staying lean at the same time? Or, you know, which one should I just do? Let me tell you, there's a variety of options out there. One of the first options you can do that a lot of people tend to like, just because it's not as boring, is playing a sport. Now for me, I have no one to play a sport with, so that's why I don't do it. Me and James don't really play any sports. We were never really good at sports in high school. I mean, I was good at track, but I hated track workouts. But yeah, you can do some sort of sport, and the amount of times that you need to do it in the week can vary, you know, obviously depending on how long you play, you know, the duration of the sport for. But you know, during a sport, you know, you're taking breaks, you're taking breathers in between, so I suggest, you know, a little more of an hour or so more if you decide to go that route. Now another very typical kind of cardio that people seem to do a lot when they're trying to lose weight is jogging. Now I actually do this one a lot. I actually prefer this one more so, just because the environment around me is changing a lot, and I know there's some sort of end goal. Like I know there's a finish line when I'm done, or like while I'm doing it. It keeps me motivated to keep on going. I know some of you are probably thinking like, the hell, like I've never thought about that like when I jog, but now you will, trust me. It's part of the alpha mindset. And if you decide to go the jogging route, all you need is about 2 to 3 sessions a week, about, you know, I would say from 30 to 40 minutes. Now I've actually used this method before to get lean, had really good results. but I know a lot of people don't like jogging, so there are some other options. Now, another option that you have is HIIT or sprint intervals, and this seems to be a very popular one, or one that people are starting to do more so. As you guys know, I do or have done sprint workouts before. I do like them. Like I said, they help build your hamstrings a whole bunch, just because you can't work your hamstrings in the same way with weights as you can with sprints. Also, like with the HIIT cardio, I don't really get it. I mean, like, I guess because you're like changing up what you're doing the whole time during the workout, it's more fun, and my dog is dragging me like crazy on this walk. Now, for a HIIT or like sprint sessions, my dog is still dragging me around like crazy, bringing me into this tree. You only need about, I would say, 2 to 3 times a week as well, about 20 to 30 minutes, just because it's that, I can't even talk, just because it's that much more of a high intensity sort of workout. And I'm gonna unclip my dog real quick and walk away from her, because we're at the park now and she can do whatever she wants. Now, the last form of cardio you can do just happens to be the best one for getting lean and building muscle at the same time, but I believe that on a very minimal difference compared to the others. And the last one just happens to be walking on a treadmill or even Stairmaster. And no, you cannot go on a walk like I'm doing with my dog who's over by that rock right now. You cannot do that. That is not gonna get your heart rate to the heart rate you need to be at to burn fat. That is like the whole point of cardio, is to get your heart rate at a point where it's burning fat. So a walk like this or a walk around your neighborhood is not going to cut it. If you're going to do it on a treadmill, you need to have it at an incline and walking at like a 4 or 5 pace. Now, how many times a week do you need to do the whole walking on a treadmill? Well, when I was doing it to get lean while building muscle at the same time, I had to do it 5 to 6 times a week, and the sessions were about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, that can be very tough if you have a schedule that doesn't really allow you to do cardio that often throughout the week. That's why I don't prefer it. I don't have a schedule that allows me to do that. Also, it's boring as fuck to walk on a treadmill for that long. The reason it is the preferred method when you know getting shredded and building muscle at the same time is because it's not as harsh on your joints and your leg muscles. Like I said, I think it is very minimal in difference compared to what the other ones can do, because like I said, I've gotten lean off of just jogging before. But yeah, those are your options for cardio. And you know what? Taking this route comes with a price. You got to do cardio. So if you want to look shredded, look like a freaking sick ass cunt, then that's what you got to do. Yo, what's up, guys? All right, now I know it is not the continuous day. As I said, I was going to go throughout the day and talk about what you need to do to put on lean muscle, but it's the next day because I felt like I couldn't talk last night just because like I wasn't awake enough. But another thing that'll help you, that helped me build lean muscle mass, was sleep. Not just sleep, a sleep schedule. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys already know this. Sleep is a time for your body to recover, is a time for your body's muscles to recover and rebuild and all that good stuff. And without it, your body's not gonna like be ready for the next day. And then your training sessions aren't gonna be as good. And the better your training sessions are, the better you're gonna perform in the gym, which is gonna lead to a better physique. What I mean by a sleep schedule is you need to have a time where you go to bed around the same time every night and a time that you wake up every single day. You can't just get 8 hours of sleep every single night and call it a day and expect it to work, because it won't work. Because let's say you go to bed at 8 p.m. one night, right? You're gonna wake up at 5 and you might be like, damn, this is way too early, I'm still tired. And then the next day you go to bed at 12 and you wake up at 8 and you're like, yo, what the fuck, I'm still tired. So you need to have a sleep schedule. This is where like that mind and body thing kind of like fully come together, right? Because like I said, when you go to bed with the sleep schedule and you wake up the next day ready to go, your body's gonna be fully recovered. You're gonna feel a lot better when you go to the gym, and you're gonna perform better, like I said, leading to a better physique. I know this is one of the most difficult things to do just because people have jobs. It's harder for them, to get to bed at a certain time, or, if you're going to school and you're studying, it is hard. I understand that, but just try to implement some sort of sleep schedule to the best of your ability. Because like I said, this is where I found that I performed the best in the gym and I had my best physique. I'm still working on it right now. It's kind of tough. I get to, bed at like 10:30, or I can't even talk, about 10:30 to 11:30, somewhere in between there. And that's way too big of a gap. I suggest you only have like a 30-minute gap. So let's say you want to go to bed at 10:30, no later than 11 and no earlier than 10. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Just some suggestions. Like I said, this is all experimental. Like, you can't figure this stuff out and what works best for your body unless you don't experiment. So get to experimenting, find out a sleep schedule that's gonna work for you, find out a diet routine that's gonna work for you, find out a cardio that's gonna work for you, and find out training sessions that are gonna work for you. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, like it. Don't forget to like I just said, and don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you don't want to do any of that, thank you for the view. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.